Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, I hope all of you are fine and I believe each of you are trying to keep yourself safe by staying at home. Dear students, you may know that an investment in knowledge always pays the best interest and learning never exhausts the mind. So, my dear students, stay connected to your study and do it properly by following the online classes organized by BAF Shahin College, Chattogram. Welcome back to my lesson. I am Sanjida Khanom, lecturer in Finance Banking and Insurance, BAF Shahin College, Chattogram. Today, I am going to start our class with the fourth part of Cost of Capital from Finance Banking and Insurance First Paper course. After completing today's lesson, students will be able to calculate the cost of equity through Capital Asset Pricing Model or CAPM. They can also calculate the cost of new common stock. They can develop an idea on retained earnings. And finally, they can calculate the cost of retained earnings under different conditions. Dear students, almost all of you sent me your homework which was given to you in my last lecture and most of you answered correctly. Now I am explaining the question for those of you who had problems with the math. The question is the current market price of ABC company's share is Taka 90 and the expected dividend per share is Taka 7. The dividends are expected to grow at a constant rate of 4%. Now, we have to find out the cost of capital of this share. There is a growth rate of dividend in the question. So, we have to calculate the cost of this share according to the constant dividend growth model. And as we have to use this model, it is very important to identify the dividend mentioned in the question correctly. Here, the expected dividend is given directly in the question. So, our expected dividend or future dividend is Taka 7. Now, just putting value in the formula, we can get our answer. And the answer is 11.78%. In my last lecture, I discussed how to calculate the cost of common stock under dividend-based models. Today, I am going to start our lesson with another model of cost of equity, which is based on investors' behavior. And the name of that model is Capital Asset Pricing Model, or in short CAPM. CAPM describes the relationship between risk and expected return. In this model, a security's expected return is the risk-free rate plus a premium, which is based on the systematic risk of that security. So, what is systematic risk? Systematic risks are the market risks that can affect all the securities at once. This risk is uncontrollable. Generally, this risk occurs from macroeconomic factors like political, economic, and social factors. Here's the formula of capital asset pricing model. The formula contains cost of common stock equity capital equal to risk-free rate of return, which is based on treasury bills, plus market return minus risk-free rate of return into beta coefficient. The beta coefficient represents the systematic risk of an asset. Here, one thing is important. Only RM stands for market return, but the difference between RM minus RF represents the market risk premium. This is the reward an investor receives over the risk-free rate for investing in the share that have the same level of risk. Now we see a practical example of cost of common stock under CAPM. The beta coefficient of Lilly Limited is 1.5. The rate of return of treasury bill is 6%. Market return is 15%. So what will be the cost of equity of Lilly Limited? We have to calculate the cost of equity of Lilly Limited by using the formula of CAPM, and after putting value in the formula we can easily get our answer. Here the rate of return of treasury bill is 6%, so our risk-free rate is 6%, and market return is directly given in the question 15%, so RM equal to 15%, and beta coefficient is 1.5, so we take the value 1.5. After putting value in this formula, we can get our answer, and the answer is 19.5%. That means the cost of equity of Lilly Limited is 19.5%. In my first two lectures, I discussed how to adjust flotation cost with the debt and the preferred stock. Today, I am going to discuss how to adjust this flotation cost with the new common stock. You know that flotation costs are the costs associated with the issuing or selling of a security. So when a company issues new common stock, it will face flotation cost. Like debt and preferred stock, we have to deduct flotation cost from the sale value of the share. Under both method of dividend, that means zero dividend growth model and constant dividend growth model, we have to deduct this flotation cost from market price or selling price of the share. Here one thing is important, there is no option to adjust this flotation cost in the CAPM. We only adjust this cost with dividend based models for equity. Now we see the last source of cost of capital, and it is retained earnings. We know that dividends are paid out of firm's earnings. A company does not distribute all the profit as dividend it earns in a year. Rather, it retains a portion in the organization. So, earnings that are not distributed to owners as dividends are called retained earnings. Retained earnings is considered as internal source of long-term financing. Is there any cost of retained earnings? No, there is no direct external cost, but there is an opportunity cost. So, what is opportunity cost? You know that the cost of not availing any opportunity is termed as opportunity cost. In case of retained earnings, shareholders have to sacrifice the opportunity to get their dividends and invest somewhere else. Instead, they allow the firm to retain their dividends and to build capital. So, retained earnings is a part of shareholders' equity. Therefore, the cost of retained earnings is equivalent to the cost of common stock equity. Before going to start our cost calculation, we have to know some important points. First one is, flotation cost will never be adjusted with retained earnings. There is no issuance cost of retained earnings because it is an internal source of finance, and that's why flotation cost will never be adjusted with retained earnings. When you try to solve the mathematical problems of this chapter, you will get two types of tax rate. One is corporate tax rate and another one is personal tax rate. Corporate tax rate will be adjusted with debt and personal tax rate will be adjusted with retained earnings. Now we learn how to calculate the cost of retained earnings under three different conditions. The first condition is calculation of cost of retained earnings without personal tax rate. So if there is no personal tax rate and no flotation cost, cost of retained earnings will be equal to the cost of equity under constant dividend growth model. So cost of retained earnings equal to expected dividend divided by market price of the share plus growth rate of dividend into 100. Here are the details of each element. The second condition is calculation of cost of retained earnings with personal tax rate. So if there is any personal tax rate, we have to adjust that with expected dividend. So cost of retained earnings equal to expected dividend into 1 minus personal tax rate divided by market price of the share plus growth rate of dividend into 100. The third condition is calculation of cost of retained earnings with personal tax rate and direct cost of equity. If the cost of equity is directly given in the question with the personal tax rate, then cost of retained earnings equal to cost of equity into 1 minus personal tax rate into 100. Here we see a practical example of cost of retained earnings. Sun Company's current year's dividend is Taka 12 per share. Market price of each share is Taka 120 and flotation cost is Taka 5. The growth rate of dividend is 5% and personal tax rate is 28%. So what will be the cost of retained earnings? As there is personal tax rate in the question, we have to use this formula to find out the cost of retained earnings. Here, current year's dividend is Taka 12 per share. So, we have to calculate expected dividend by using this formula. And we get our expected dividend as Taka 12.6. Now, just putting value in the formula, we can get our answer. And the answer is 12.56%. So, the cost of retained earnings of Sun Company is 12.56%. Here, one thing is important. There is a flotation cost in the question, but we didn't adjust this flotation cost with the market price of the share. Why? I have mentioned it earlier. Because flotation cost will never be adjusted with retained earnings. Now we see another example of cost of retained earnings. The cost of equity of Purva Limited is 12% and personal tax rate is 30%. So what will be the cost of retained earnings? Here we see the cost of equity of Purva Limited is directly given in the question. Besides, there is a personal tax rate. So we have to calculate the cost of retained earnings by using this formula. Just putting value in the formula, we can get our answer. And the answer is 8.4%. So the cost of Purva Limited, that means the cost of retained earnings of Purva Limited is 8.4%. Dear students, here I prepared two questions to evaluate you. First question is, Eagle Company wants to determine the required rate of return of an asset which has a beta of 0.9 and the rate of return of treasury bill is 7%. Market risk premium is 10%. Now, you have to calculate the cost of equity of the company. The second question is, RVM Company's expected dividend is Taka 8 per share. Market price of each share is Taka 90 and flotation cost is Taka 2. The growth rate of dividend is 3% and personal tax rate is 28%. So, what will be the cost of retained earnings? Dear students, I hope all of you will watch the video carefully and then do your homework to learn something from today's lesson. If you have any questions, you can write in the comment box. Thank you for being with me.